Generally, teachers don't encourage students to be disruptors, but our next speakers debunk that. By empowering kids to design games for change, they cultivate innovation and critical thinking skills that go beyond traditional classroom lessons and the students' own expectations. Shannon Sullivan is the executive producer of Globaloria, where she defines the content and curriculum and has set the editorial tone and led the technical production teams since the launch of the blended learning platform in 2006. She's also been a director, producer, writer, and editor of innovative multimedia programs that entertain, educate, and inspire, working for companies such as MTV, Mama Media, Knowledge Adventure, and Davison and Associates. With her will be Geraldine Agredo, who's in the 10th grade at the Young Women's Leadership School in Astoria. Despite the fact that she's younger than almost everyone in this room, Geraldine has participated in the Globaloria program for 2 years. Due to her intense desire to learn coding, she became an intern and then won one of only 20 spots available to students for the Loft Innovation Fellowship. She aspires to one day have a career in computer science, and I have no doubt that she's someone to watch.
We're small people, so we're going to stand out here with microphones. It's a little hard to see us back here, right? Okay. So hi, I'm Shannon, and I'm delighted to be here with Geraldine. And we're going to talk to you about raising innovation disruptors. So, disruptive innovation occurs when people look at old problems in new ways, and when they have a passion to explore and play with ideas. And usually we think this is the kind of thinking that only rare geniuses have. But actually, this kind of thinking can and should be cultivated in all learners. So, and there are a couple of examples of people who we think are prime disruptive innovators. But let's talk about the characteristics that we're talking about here. So a disruptive innovator, or an innovation disruptor, explores new ideas, experiences, and tools for fun and out of curiosity or passion. They experiment with hands-on with things that they don't yet understand. That doesn't stop them. They don't wait to be directed, but once they're engaged with something, they do ask for help and they look for support because they want to learn more and get better. They learn from failure, but they're not afraid to be wrong because failure is not the end. Failure is a step in the process of gaining mastery. And they find solutions by experimenting and by being persistent. In the process, they're looking for mentors and they seek feedback and interaction with their peers. So these are, I think, innovation disruptors that you all know, gamers and kids, right? Gamers, I'm sure everybody here knows firsthand, learn through play, experimentation, and lots of failure. Gaming's also communal learning because you connect with peers and mentors, and you establish alliances and rivalries that really push you forward. Children, of course, are innovation disruptors by nature. They, by themselves, they learn and invent incredible things through the process of play. But of course, generally this is not the type of learning experiences that they have in school. And that's what we want to change. So Globaloria, the program that I direct, is all about bringing disruptive learning into STEM environments in school, regular classrooms. And what happens is that students conceive, design, and program their own serious games. They can do this in any class. For instance, my co-presenter Geraldine has been creating games in her Spanish class. And we believe this experience can really transform learning and teaching for every student and teacher. By creating games, students are able to improve the content mastery of something they're exploring, get into an issue and get into something and develop passion for it, and teach and influence other people. It's also an opportunity through game design to be immersed in a friendly way in computer science and coding. And this is really important to engage all students in this process, especially girls and minorities who maybe don't think computer science is for them. In the process of doing this, they learn to write the games in real programming languages. They use JavaScript, they use ActionScript, and they use HTML5. They also follow a unique learning methodology that's based on real-world engineering practices. So they go through this iterative design cycle of playing games, planning their own game, doing prototyping on paper, programming, presenting, and publishing their work. We also are engaging the teachers. We do extensive professional development that ensures that any educator can run this class, whether they're a tech novice or tech savvy, and that they're well supported throughout the school year, with the goal of having them create an environment where students can really learn and be free to innovate. So all of this, we hope, results in engaged and motivated learners who have become producers, not just consumers of media. Case in point, and the star of my show this morning, is Geraldine. So you've already heard that Geraldine is 15. She's created her first game last year, for which she was able to receive a ESA Loft grant with her colleagues, her teammates, two other 15-year-old girls. And she has a lot to say about this. She's also in the process now of developing a new game, a game about recycling that's going to be featured at an eco-fashion show. Geraldine.
Hi, my name is Geraldine, as you know. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. So first, there's this question I've been asking myself since I was asked to present NYU, in the Games for Change, is why am I here and why is this so important to me? And the only way I can explain this to you is cause and effect. The things I was exposed to affected what I want to do in my future. And so essentially, my first cause would be my amazing teacher, my Spanish teacher, Andrea Chavez. And she's a woman that is both my mentor and my, inspiration. She's a woman that cares a lot for her students. She always advocates for our futures, always encourages us to do so much more in our lives, And she always makes us believe, she makes us realize that we don't always use our potential, our complete potential. We do things and we think they're okay. And if they're okay, that's enough. But she makes us believe that, we have so much untapped creativity and innovation in us that we just don't use because we don't think it's important enough. And so she's one of those women that always inspires you to do so much more with your life. My second cause being Globaloria, and it's this amazing organization. I'm not just saying this because Shannon's right here, but it's more about the fact that it teaches students life skills that are so important to us, They teach me personally that, it's okay to take your time, that it's more important to really understand the knowledge you're receiving and how to apply it more than a grade you're getting. Because as high school students, we think that it's more important to get grades. That it doesn't matter that if you teach us something, it's more important about the grade we're getting in the test than if we even remember it after a few years, And so this program, Globaloria, it teaches us that if we know how to apply something, we make it into a game, that knowledge is going to be kept in us for a long time. And so when I was asked to make a Spanish game using coding, making it into a game, I was extremely nervous. I didn't understand how I could make a game and apply my Spanish knowledge to it and still learn coding to it. And because I felt like I was going to fail. I felt like if I was going to get a bad grade, all of a sudden colleges won't want me. My grades are just going to go bad. And then I realized that life is so much more than grades. Life is so much more than, something that the teachers are going to give us. But, and so Globaloria is this amazing support system. It taught me a lot about myself. And with the help of Globaloria and Andrea, I was able to win a Loft Innovation. I'm sorry, my voice is shaking. A Loft Innovation Award. And so this is extremely important because my best friend, Daniela Luisimo, we created this game called Animal Frenzy. And so this game was chosen nationally because it was an educational game. Okay, so when we went to Washington, that's because Loft is headquartered in Washington. Is that how you say it? I don't know. And so we got there, and we were so excited to be in Washington. And so when we got there, we were amazed of the fact that we were the only 15 years old there. And that everybody else was a college student. And so they would come up to us, and they would ask us, how old are you? And when we would tell them, they'd be surprised. And I asked them why. And they would say, because at your age, I didn't know what I wanted to be. I didn't know I wanted to be a computer programmer. I didn't know this was an option for me. And I realized that I should be immensely grateful that I had the opportunity to be a computer programmer, a coder, at the age of 15. You know, not a lot of people are going to have that opportunity. And so when I was there and the program brought in speakers, it made me realize more and more and more that why I wanted to be a computer programmer. Because it made me realize the effect on my games, the games I was creating, could have on students all across the country. And that the games I created was a way for me to be able to teach other students the way I wanted to be taught, you know, in the way, the knowledge I learned it. And so I realized that I wanted to be a computer programmer because of the experiences I was led to have. You know, my causes led me to this amazing effect that was lost. It made me realize I wanted to be a computer programmer. And then I asked myself, why aren't there enough people, why aren't enough high schoolers having the same experience as me? It's because the opportunity is not given to them. You know, not enough classes are teaching them about coding. There are not enough blended courses in their high school careers. And so I know that if this opportunity was given to them, there would be so many more people up here, so many more students up here talking to you about how we're not a computer programmer, you know, and that they would be extremely grateful, because it's better to know what you want to be at the age of 15 than when you're 20 and you're in college, and then you realize this could be an opportunity. And so, I hope that in the future, so many more classrooms are going to do what Globaloria and my teacher is doing, which is blended classrooms. And that, thank you. I'm extremely grateful to be here.
I just want to say I barely needed to be here, and you can see why. But if you'd like to speak more to Geraldine, or I want to acknowledge Andrea Chavez, who's here with us in the second row, we'll be here. Thank you all.